What's up everybody, my name is David. Welcome back to the channel. In this tutorial video, I'm going to walk you through step 1 to step done on how to create a website with the 2020 theme from WordPress. Now the 2020 theme looks fantastic on mobile devices and is perfect for any type of blog oriented website. Now the services that we're going to be using in this tutorial video are number 1, Namecheap. Namecheap is a domain name registrar. So you can't own a domain name outright. You can only register a domain name for a year at a time, and Namecheap has the best renewal prices out there. Next, we need a hosting account in order to make our website live on the internet. And for that, I recommend Hostinger.com because they are a highly rated web host and they provide some of the lowest prices out there that you're gonna find. Next, we're gonna install WordPress and then begin designing our website. So anyways, make sure to check the links in the description for any resources mentioned as well as timestamps. Hit that like button if you enjoy these types of videos, and let's begin. Okay, this is Namecheap.com. Now, you may be more familiar with GoDaddy.com, but Namecheap and GoDaddy provide the same service, but Namecheap's prices are much better. Now, to get started with Namecheap is very simple. You just go to the search bar and you type in the domain name that you want to register. So I'm going to type in something like davidtravelstheworld.com, and let's see if it is available. Okay, fantastic. davidtravelstheworld.com is available and I can add it to my cart. Now, I highly suggest getting a .com for your first website. And if the .com that you want is not available, then you're just going to have to come up with something else. But I definitely suggest getting a .com for your first website. Okay, so once you get to this point, you simply click the button to add it to your cart. And now we can go over here and click this big button that says View Cart. And this is the domain name registration checkout page. So we have the domain name registration, and here you can select how many years you want to register this domain name for. I normally suggest registering for 1 year, see if your website sticks around, see if you continue on with the project, and if you're having success with your website, then come back in here, and the next time you have to register it, go for 3 or 4, 5 years, whatever you think is best. Another thing that I really like with Namecheap is that you get WhoisGuard for free. GoDaddy and other domain name registrars normally charge you for this, but here with Namecheap you get it for free, and it's $8.88 a year. So Namecheap absolutely has the best prices. I mean, if we just go to GoDaddy, and I have the super awesome blog typed in, I mean, we could just take a quick look to see how much GoDaddy would charge for a .com. And GoDaddy is charging $11.99 for the first year, and then after the first year, the renewal rate is $17.99. Whereas Namecheap, it's basically half that. And this is why I suggest going with Namecheap over GoDaddy, simply because you can't beat the prices. And at this point, simply click on Confirm Order, and then go through the process to create a Namecheap account and submit your payment information. Let's get a hosting account. Now, a web host is basically you renting a small piece of a large, powerful server so your website is live 24/7. I really like Hostinger.com for brand new websites, particularly if you're looking for a budget-friendly web host, and they are highly rated. They are sitting at 5 stars on Trustpilot compared to Bluehost, which is recommended by WordPress, the most popular web host, the biggest web host in the world, and they're at 1.5. So anyways, Hostinger.com. To get started, we just go down here and you want to click on the button that says web hosting. It says perfect for small to medium websites. That's us because we have a brand new website, no traffic. We don't need cloud or VPS hosting. These are for established websites. So just click on web hosting and it'll take us to this page where we can choose our options. So we have single, premium, and business. Single, you can have one website and only one website. Business is for established websites, which is not us. We want premium that allows us to have multiple websites on one account. So click on the red button that says add to cart. Okay, so now we have 48 months, 24 months, 12 months, 1 month. So first things first, have a coupon code. Yes, let's click here, and the coupon code is WebPro. And let's click on the plus sign. and now we have a nice discount applied. So 48 months is 4 years, $95. What a great deal. I personally though recommend getting a 24-month plan because 2 years is usually enough time to outgrow shared hosting. And last, don't forget, you can get a free domain name with your purchase of a premium hosting account. So, again, if you didn't register your domain name at Namecheap yet, you can also get a free domain name here. Now, the downside is that they don't provide WhoIsGuard for free, and their renewal rates are a little bit higher than Namecheap, not too much higher. But if you want to go this route, you can. So you can just click .com, and then you can type in whatever domain name that you want here. So we'll just type in like David Travels the world.com. We'll click on search, and there we go. So now we have it added to our account, and we have to pay a little bit of the ICANN fee that they can't discount on, but again, $66. You get a 2-year hosting account, you get your domain name for the first year. Really good deal. Now again, I do recommend Namecheap, but it's up to you. I'm just I'm giving you the tools and helping you to make a purchase decision of what's best for you. Namecheap is a domain name registrar. You get free WhoIsGuard, but you can get your domain name for free through Hostinger. It's really up to you. And then the last step is to just check out. It's not that hard, okay? Now, I'm not going to insult your intelligence and walk you through the process about how to pay for something. Simply create an account and then pay with either PayPal, your credit card, whatever, and that is it. And then the next step after this is that we're going to begin installing WordPress on our website. All right, so now you have your hosting account and you have your domain name registered at Namecheap. How do you connect the two? And the answer to that is to set the name servers at Namecheap to that of your web host. It takes 5 minutes, and I'm going to show you how. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button. Anyways, let's begin. Welcome to Hostinger.com. So this is the cPanel of Hostinger. I'm assuming that you already purchased your account, so go ahead and log in and you'll be presented with this screen. We can go ahead and click the X right here. Now to get started with our website and our name servers, we want to click on Manage right here. And once we click on Manage, what Hostinger is going to do is it's going to check to see if our domain name is pointing correctly. So if you registered your domain name through Hostinger.com, you do not have to do this. You should be good to go. You're going to get a sign that says, hey, you're all set, good to go. But because I registered my domain name at Namecheap, I have to point the name servers at Hostinger to Namecheap. So to do that, you just want to go to your account, and once you're logged into your account, you want to find where it says your domain name and go and click on the manage button. And then once you click on the manage button, you're going to want to find where it says name servers, and then right here we want to go here and we want to go to custom DNS. Now we have name server 1 and name server 2. We'll click on add name server. Why? For whatever reason, Hostinger uses 4 name servers. Most web hosts use 2, but Hostinger uses 4. So we want to just go ahead and we want to go through each one and just copy and paste it in. So just paste that in. And then this is number NS2. And this is going to be name server 3. And this is going to be name server 4. And next we want to click on this little green check mark right there to save everything. And there we go. So it says DNS server update may take 48 hours to take effect. Personally, it's usually right away, but it could take up to 48 hours. So let's just back out of this, and go back to the other page and click this X, and let's click on manage and see if it is already updated. Okay, now it's checking if your domain name is pointing, and hooray, your domain is pointing. And that was it. That's how quickly it said up to 48 hours, but it's already good to go. And how long did that take, guys? That took maybe 5 minutes max. It's such a simple thing to do to update name servers. Let's install WordPress now. So WordPress is the free open source content management system that's going to be powering the backend of our website. WordPress powers something like 6% of all websites on the internet. It allows us to publish content with ease and allows us to design our website without needing any complicated technical skills. So to get started installing WordPress is very simple. We want to just scroll down and find where it says website, and now we want to click on auto installer. Okay, next we want to go ahead and click on WordPress. So this is the installation screen for WordPress, and there's a couple things I want to review before we continue. So right down here we have the domain name, and you can install WordPress on the root domain name here, or you can type in something here and install WordPress on a directory like blog, for example. Now I recommend putting nothing in there and leaving it blank because we want to install WordPress on the root domain name, which means we want to install it on domainname.com. We don't want to just install WordPress only on domainname.com/blog or something like that. So just leave it blank. And next we have HTTP, and you have the option to have HTTP or HTTPS. You definitely want HTTPS because that means secure, and that is now a ranking factor with Google. So if you visit my website, websitecreativepro.com, we have a little lock over there, and that means that this website is secure. Now, in order to do that, you're going to need to install an SSL certificate. And now with Hostinger, you can navigate up here to your menu bar and click on SSL, and then you can pay a small fee for them to install and manage the SSL certificate for you on your behalf, which I highly recommend because you can definitely do it for free, and Hostinger has a guide on how to do it for free. So it's possible to do it for free, but the issue is that you're going to have to redo it every 3 months. So it's a little bit of a headache to have to constantly, like every 3 months, go back and get a new certificate. So that's why it's worth paying a small fee to have your web host take care of the SSL certificate for you so it's done. Now, with that said, you can continue with the tutorial using HTTP. It's fine. You can totally create your website, set it up, everything's good to go. And then, after the tutorial, you want to go back to Hostinger and get a certificate. You can go ahead and do that. Now, for the administrator username, just put in something that you're going to remember because you're going to be using these credentials to log into your website. And next, you just put a password, put a secure password in with lots of numbers and just long. So go ahead and do that. Okay. And next we have the administrator email. Use a real email because if you ever forget your password and you have to request a new password, it's going to be sent to this email. And next you have language, and go ahead and select the actual language that you speak. I'm American, so I would prefer English United States than English UK because I say like color, I don't say color. Anyways, click this and let me just navigate down. Let me just move that. All right, let me find English United States, and then we have to have website title. You can change this later once you're in WordPress. So I'm just going to call it my blog, and that's it. We're good to go. So now go ahead and click that green install button. All right, application was successfully installed. Now it's totally normal if that takes a minute or two. So now the next step is to log into our website. So to do that, we just click this black button right there, and we're taken to WP-admin. So to log into your website, you just have to go to website.com/WP-admin. And from this interface, all you have to do is put in the credentials, the administrator username or your email, and the password that you just used. Let's go ahead and log into our website. So just put in your username or email address and the password that you created when you were installing WordPress. So let's do it. Let's click login. All right, welcome to WordPress. This is your dashboard, and we have a bunch of maintenance tasks that we need to take care of. So we're going to be spending the next 6 to 8 minutes just taking care of a lot of little details. So first things first, let's navigate over to appearance, and we want to go to themes. Now, once you have WordPress, you're going to have a bunch of free themes that are all created by WordPress. The 2020, 2019, 2017, 2016. WordPress comes out with a new theme every year. They didn't come out with one in 2018 because they were building the new WordPress editor. Anyways, for security reasons, we just want to have one theme installed. So we're going to go ahead and just delete all of these other themes. Because just again for security reasons. So just click on the theme and the little red delete buttons over in the corner right here, and just go through it and delete all of these. Okay, so now we should have one theme installed, the 2020 theme. The next thing we want to do is we want to go to plugins and go to installed plugins. And now here we have a bunch of plugins that are already installed with our installation. You can just go ahead and let's delete or deactivate all of these. First off, click on deactivate. Okay, so they should be deactivated, and then now go to delete. We just want to do, what we're doing is we just want a fresh WordPress installation. Okay, so now we have one theme installed and we don't have any plugins. Now what you want to do next is you want to navigate to your settings. Okay, settings is where you can change the site title as well as the tagline. So if you navigate right here where it says my blog, and we'll open this in a new tab, this is basically what our website looks like. So my blog right here and the tagline, that is being controlled by this area. So if you want to change it, which you probably do, like I want to have this say the name of the website, which is my name, and we want a tagline. So I don't want to say like just another WordPress website. Let's say like travel and online business blog. Okay, we'll just keep it simple like that. And then you want to go here and click on save changes. And now if we reload the site and take a quick look, there we go. We've updated it correctly. Okay, so that's that. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to go down to permalinks. This is very important. This is something that we want to take care of. Now, we have a bunch of different options. So we have day and name, we have plain. Most people are going to tell you to select post name. Now, if we just take a look at the blog post URL structure, the way it's set up right now, which is this, we'll open hello world. It's my name and the date and then hello world. That is a terrible URL structure because dates should only be used if you have time-sensitive content. So if you're building a news website, yeah, sure, you want time-sensitive URL structures with the date in it. But if you're not creating a news website, which you're probably not, you don't want dates in your URL structure. So most people suggest going with post name. That's good, but a better URL structure would be to go /blog/post name. So what all I did, so just to go back, all I did was click on post name, and then it updates this to post name. And then I clicked on custom structure after that, and then I typed in /blog/post name. Leave it as is, and then you're good to go. Now, I have a whole nother video on why this is the ideal URL structure, but it's just an ideal URL structure because it gives a nice structure and organization to the website for search engines as well as users. It helps separate blog posts from pages. And I just like the structure, and most big bloggers use it. So let's click on Save Changes. All right, so now if we reload this, we're going to have a page not found because that's true. The URL structure has changed. So let's just go back to the home page. Okay, and then let's go click on Hello World again. And now it has the correct URL structure, which is the domain name blog/hello world. Okay, so that's that. Now, one other little thing that you want to do is you want to go into users and go here. Okay, so this is where you can edit things like your password for the account that you created when you were installing WordPress. So if I just click on this account right here, and this is where we can go in and you can update your email or your password right down here, generate new password. You could just do that right here as you want. Now, let me go back to all users. One small little thing I recommend doing, you don't have to do this now, but just as for security purposes, is that this is an administrator account. An administrator has full access to the entire website. So you want to go to add new, and then you want to go to subscriber, and you want to go to editor, and you want to fill this out and create a new account and have it be the editor account. Reason being is that because, you know, bots and whatnot can kind of track like who published what. And so, for example, like this says like by my name, and then the author is this. And like if someone was to use this and trying to log into the site and using a bot or brute force attack or whatever, and they break into the site with the administrator account, they have full access to the site. Whereas if they're an editor, literally the only thing they can do is edit blog posts, and they can't change or do anything else. Now, this is like a worst case scenario type setup, but again, it's just a small little security thing that nobody ever talks about in other tutorial videos. So you want to create an editor account, and then when you publish blog posts, you want to make sure that you're publishing as an editor, not as the author here is David. That's the administrator account. So you want to create like a separate editor account and use that account strictly for publishing blog posts, just for security reasons. Now for the fun part, we're going to begin designing the site. So let's get to it. So let's just take a quick look. So right now I'm on the home page, and the things that we're going to be doing are we're going to get rid of the meta description, which is this section right here. We're going to be removing the category. We're going to be putting breadcrumbs in, which help people navigate the site a little bit more effectively. We're going to be getting rid of this ugly beige color. I don't know who picked this, but it's so ugly to me. We're going to make it just nice, clean, and white. And then we're also going to delete a lot of the demo content that will come installed. So let's get to it. So first things first is we want to click on this customize button up top there. So let's click on this. And what you just notice is that when you click on customize, for whatever reason, this theme all of a sudden defaults to demo content that we're going to have to just go in and delete. So first off, you just want to click on customize, and now we want to click on publish. Okay, so let's just back out of this site. So let's just take a quick look. So now our website has all of these pages that we want to delete and this home page that we want to get rid of. I know, I don't understand why this theme does that. I don't like it, but you know, it's just something that we have to deal with. So we're going to go into the back end. So now we want to go to pages, and what you want to do is you want to go to, we just want to delete all of these pages. So I'm going to delete UMAO opens, privacy, contact, and blog. I'm going to delete all of this stuff right now. Just going to go move it to trash. The only thing I'm going to leave is the default sample page that came with the installation. And we're going to, let me just back out of this. Okay, so now we're back to it looking basically the way it looked before. Okay, and now let's go on back to customize. All right, so now with customize, we have this menu right here, and we already have a menu bar at top there, so we don't really need it to be doing this. So to fix this and get it back to the way it was, you just want to navigate over to menus, and you want to create primary, and you want to just go through and just delete, remove that, and remove that. And we want to click off this, and we want to click on publish. Okay, so let's just go back and take a look at it, and hooray, things are pretty much back to normal. So, you know, that's just how it is. Now, you know, your installation may vary, so maybe you'll click customize, it doesn't do that. But if you click customize and it just has all that demo content already, I recommend just deleting it. All right, so now let's get into how to customize the page and the blog post the way I would want to customize it. Okay, so we have this meta description right there. I don't want dates being shown, and like we have a new website, so I don't want comments being shown either. I don't want my website to say 0 comments, because who's going to read the post? Like it's just negative social proof. It's better just to get rid of this and get rid of this. So in order to do that, click on customize. Okay, so we're going to go to additional CSS, And now to hide this stuff, all you need to know is a little bit of CSS. I'm going to link this in the description. So it's very, very simple. What you want to do is click on this. So we want, sorry, click on this. What you want to do is post meta, and you want to have display none. And we just put that in, and post meta, display none, and it's gone. And now we want entry categories inner, and we want to display none. And what that will do is we'll hide the categories, and we'll just paste that in there. Okay, that is looking good. And last is the powered by WordPress. So if you're new to WordPress, WordPress automatically has this at the bottom. It's their theme, so they link to their website, but we don't want to be linking to WordPress.org on literally every single page. So again, just go here and powered by WordPress, display none. So let me just do that and paste that in there. Okay, now let me click on publish. Okay, and it looks good. So we've eliminated the meta description, we've eliminated the category, and we've hidden the powered by WordPress and the footer. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install Breadcrumbs right here on the blog post. So we'll get to that next. Let's get Breadcrumbs set up for our blog post. So if you're just wondering, like, what is this guy going on about with Breadcrumbs? When you visit a website and you see this top section right here where it says home, blog, category, and then the post title, that's Breadcrumbs. And Breadcrumbs are really important and really helpful for not only SEO, but also usability. Helpful for SEO because it allows search engine spiders to have a nice understanding of the layout and structure of the website, and it's good for usability because people can figure out where they are, what page they're on, and just allows more that deep linking that makes your website just more helpful and usable. So we're going to add Breadcrumbs right underneath here, and in order to do that, we need to install two plugins. So the two plugins are Yoast SEO, and the other plugin is PRYCWP Add Custom Content. So make sure it's Add Custom Content because PRYC makes a lot of plugins and they all look the same. It's the Add Custom Content. Now, in order to install plugins, you just want to go to Add a New. And when you open up Add New, over here, you have the little search box. You can just type in what plugin you want there. So like if you want Yoast SEO, just type in Yoast SEO, hit enter. WordPress will search and then go ahead and install and activate that, and do that for both. So again, the two plugins that we are going to have at this point in the tutorial that we have installed are PRYCWP Add Custom Content and Yoast SEO. And once you get to the point where you have both of these plugins installed, you're going to notice that you have a new little option over here called SEO. Go ahead and click on it. Now you want to click on search appearance, and search appearance, you want to navigate over to Breadcrumbs, and Breadcrumbs is currently disabled. So we want to click on enable it. Okay, so that's almost done. Now we have to click on save changes. Okay, so we've enabled Breadcrumbs and we clicked on save changes. So if we go to our blog post and reload, you're going to be like, David, I don't get it. Well, there's nothing here. It's blank. Well, that's because we're still missing a part. Now, the reason why we installed PYRC is because we have to add the actual shortcode for the Breadcrumbs. So let's go to your settings and then PRYC Add Custom Content. Okay, so this is the content at the top and you have content at the bottom. So I love this plugin because you can just quickly and easily add anything you want, shortcode, like an email opt-in form, text, whatever you want, quickly and easily on all your blog posts from one interface, instead of having to, like, say if you had 100 blog posts, you'd have to open up and edit 100 blog posts. That's insane. This plugin allows you to just do that from one interface. So if I was just typing like, hi, everybody, exclamation mark, we'll click on save changes and then we'll reload. And the text comes up right there. Hi, everybody. So that's where the text is going to be. So let's get rid of this. And let me go back to my notepad. Now, what we want to do is install, not install, but we want to copy and paste in shortcode. Again, links in the description for all of this. Shortcode is in brackets and it's WPSEO _ breadcrumbs. Now I have this tagged with small. What that does is it makes the text smaller than the body text, so it flows and blends in well. Like that's what I've done here on websitecreatorpro.com. Like this is tagged with small as well, so that's why the text here is like smaller than the body text. So that's what you want to do. So there we go, and just click on Save Changes. Okay, so let me reload that. Okay, so right now we have it as home, and then we have the post title. You're wondering, well, over here we have categories, here we don't. How do I do that? It's quite easy. So you just have to navigate back to SEO, okay? And you have to navigate back to Breadcrumbs. And what you want to do is scroll down here, and then taxonomy to show in Breadcrumbs for content types. By default, it's set to none. So let's just go ahead and add category. And then let's click on Save Changes. And then let's reload this. And there you go. So now you have home, then you have the category that the post is in, and then you have the post title. And one other little thing that I like to do is I like to bold the last page. So we'll click on bold the last page, click on Save Changes, and let's reload this. And now you have breadcrumbs right at the top to help give your site a nice structure for search engines as well as usability for your website visitors. Now we're going to basically nerd out on blog posts. So this section of the tutorial, I'm going to just instruct you everything that you're going to want to know when it comes to creating blog posts with WordPress, as well as just quick little design elements. So first things first, let's get rid of this ugly, horrible beige color. I don't know who decided to pick that color, but I hate it. I hate beige. So to change it, it's very simple. Go to Customize. And once this loads, you just go to colors, and we want to select color here where it says background color. Click that, then click on white. And I love white. It's readable, it looks clean, professional, minimalistic. I think it's fantastic. Now it looks 10 times better. Now you can also add a background image if you want. So you just go here and navigate to background image and click on select image, and you can just drag and drop an image here. But I really strongly don't recommend doing that. One, text is difficult to read when it's overlaid over an image. And number two, images are like a large image like that would be slow to load. Basically, it has like no usability. It makes your site more difficult to read. It makes it load more slowly. So I really would just keep it as white. So let's click on publish, and there we go. So now we have our blog post, and we've eliminated that horrible beige color. All right, so now we have a comment over here. How the heck do comments work? So I think a lot of people get confused because they click on edit post and they're like, well, where the heck are comments? How do I delete comments? So to delete comments is you want to navigate over to where it says comments. And then comments, you can navigate and edit and approve and unapprove comments here as you want. Now, if you want to turn off comments altogether on your site, you absolutely can do that. You just go to settings and you go to discussion. You open up discussion, and as I've already done, you just uncheck everything. You just uncheck everything, and this completely just turns comments off. Nobody can comment on your site. Now again, it's totally your call. There's nothing wrong with comments. Lots of blogs still have comments. If you want that feedback and interaction, that's great, fine. But I mean, I like having comments on my YouTube videos, but I don't really care if people comment on my blog posts, because I tend to like just create blog posts like best vlogging cameras for YouTube. And it's like, I'm going after like content that's going to rank in search engines to get search traffic to convert and make money. So I don't really care about comments, but YouTube, like, yeah, sure. But again, I'm starting to ramble. Comments are totally up to you. Just navigate it with discussions. Okay, so let me just back out of that. Let me back out of all of this and back out of this and this. All right, so now we're going to just create a new blog post from scratch. So for that, we want to go to posts, and you want to go to all posts, and then you want to click on add new. You can click add new here or add new there. So let's just add a new blog post. All right, so this is the blog post interface when you're creating with WordPress. This is your page title, otherwise known as your H1 tag. And WordPress uses a very fun and helpful block editor. I really like it. I think it's a great improvement that WordPress implemented a few months ago. So anyway, so we want to add a title that's relevant to our topic. So this is a travel blog. So we'll just have a pretend title. I'll say 7 essential items every traveler needs. Okay, 7 essential items every traveler needs. And now I'm going to go here, and this is just dummy content, and I'm just going to install copy and paste in dummy content just for demonstration purposes. Okay, so now let's click on save draft, and let's just take a quick look. Okay, so now we have 7 essential items. This looks great. Nice narrow column that's really nice and readable. This is why I love this theme. Now you may be wondering, hey, I want a sidebar. Sidebars are not that important anymore, to be completely honest with you. Most, like 50% of my traffic on websitecreatorpro.com is from mobile devices. So when people are on mobile devices, they don't even see the sidebar. So it's really not, it's becoming less and less important as people move more towards mobile devices, which is kind of like why I like this site, because it's kind of focused on mobile first and then desktop second. So this theme comes with a lot of helpful built-in items. So for this first paragraph, if we go here, under here we have text settings, we have font size regular, and we have drop cap. So what drop cap does is, boom, adds a nice big letter to make it easier to read. And then the font size for this specific block, we can go here, we can click on the larger, or we can click on the large, and you have the total option to change how big large is. So let me just click on save draft. All right, so now if I reload this, what this does is like, okay, we have a nice drop cap letter right there. The text is really big for this first little paragraph, and it really grabs your attention, draws you in, helps readers get stuck into reading your content. Then you can have narrow content, or not narrow, but smaller content as it follows. But again, it's up to you. So like, if you want to like have this one be larger, and then we'll go here, and this is large, and then keep this as regular, and like we want to have it set up like that. Let me just reload. So we have like big content, bigger, and then we get back into like normal font. You can totally do that. It's up to you. And you can add drop caps as you want with this theme. Like, you just, I'll add a drop cap there. Make that a big P, okay? And we'll reload it. Okay, and there we go. See, we have a drop cap there. And that's what I really like. Now, another fun little thing is to add featured images with WordPress. So what the thing that I primarily use for to help make my images is something called Canva. This is where I use to make thumbnails for YouTube and whatnot. And I like to just create my images on Canva. And so this is an image that I took personally when I was on a trip to actually Cambodia, of all places. And you just, you just upload the image, and then you can just download it. And I download it as a PNG. So if we take a quick look, here's the image. I'm going to open this image with Microsoft Office Picture Manager. Now this image is quite large, and so I want to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to resize it, and I'm going to make it 50% the size. And I think that looks a lot better. It's a little bit more usable, and I'm just going to save it as is. Okay, so now it's time to install another plugin. So let me just back out of all of this stuff right here. So another plugin that's really essential to install is Smush. And what Smush does is that it compresses any image that's uploaded to your website automatically. So let's just go over to plugins. Let's go to add new, and I'm going to type in Smush it. Okay, Smush it is Smush Image Compression Optimization, 1 million active installs. So let's click on install and get the plugin set up on our website. Okay, so now we just click on activate. And that is all we need to do. So let's navigate back to posts. Let's navigate to our 7 essential items every traveler needs. Okay, so now I want to add a feature image to this. Now, what feature images are, let me just show you. Feature images are the images that appear alongside the blog post. Like, these are feature images, and they are very important because they are what get people to click on the image. And another essential thing is that sometimes Google will take this image and put it as a snippet if you're ranking #1. So you definitely want to have a feature image. Now, I personally don't like to show feature images on the actual blog post because it just pushes all the content down, makes the page load more slowly. Again, I'm really big on speed and usability. I don't design just to make it pretty for pretty's sake. But with and so that's basically my thoughts on feature images. But we definitely want to set a feature image. So to do that, we just click on Set Feature Image. And now to upload a feature image, very simple. We just go here and we can just drag and drop our image in. Okay. And now our image has been smushed. See right here, smushed, 2 images reduced, and this image has been reduced by 6.5%. And here you have the opportunity to add alt text or title. Now, again, alt text should be text that's related to the image. So this image is a boat and on the beach. So like, what is that about? So it's like, I could call this like travel items, for example, because that's what the blog post is about. But again, you want the image to be just you want the alt text to be related to like what the blog post is about, and also like what the image is about as best you can. And we'll just click on Set Feature Image. Okay, so now let me click on Save Draft. All right, so let me just open up the page, blog post again, and there we go. So now we have the title, we have a nice little image, and I think it looks really, really beautiful. Now, one little thing that we need to change is this URL is terrible. 7 essential items every traveler needs. You want to keep your URL structure very short and sweet, to the point. So 7 essential items every traveler needs, like this could be called like travel, like literally this could be called travel items. Or we could say like essential travel items. Now, the way you kind of figure out like your page title and your URL structure is to literally take a look to see like what people are like typing in. So if I do this like travel items, for example, we can take a look at like keywords everywhere here. So it's like we have best travel items 2018, must have travel items, essential travel items. So these are all keywords and phrases that people are looking for. And then we can go to somewhere like Uber. We can go to Uber Suggest, which is owned by like Neil Patel. And it's like, okay, so I think this is an important keyword. So let me just take a quick look. So copy and paste this essential travel items, and let me see, like, is this something that people actually search for, or is this just something that I want to write about? Now, you want to write content that people are looking for, okay? You don't want to just create like whatever you want. So, this is like, okay, this has some search, 390, not a lot. That's 390 searches a month. So it's not a huge like item, it's not a huge keyword, but we get the idea, like must have travel items. So okay, so we have must have travel items. Let me take a quick look at that. Let me copy that in and take a quick look. And also, again, these are all estimates. These are just all estimates. So it's like this isn't like 100% accurate, but this is just giving you an idea. So like people look for more like must have travel items more so than like essential travel items. But if I type in like this, travel items, so 1900. So okay, so maybe like a better URL structure would just be like travel items, travel-items. And this would be my only blog post that would go super comprehensive and just talk about the best travel items I think that are out there. And that's kind of like how you approach it. And so this is kind of targeting that keyword phrase. Now, in addition to that, we want to scroll to the bottom there, And when we have Yoast SEO installed, Yoast gives you some helpful information here. So you have the focus key phrase. So like when you have a key phrase that you're kind of going after, for example, if I want like travel items, like I'm going after travel items, it'll give me an idea of like how well am I targeting at. So we can go here to SEO analysis, and it'll just give you an idea of things that you need to do. So like keyword phrase not entitled, meta description, keyword density, and these are all things you can just jump in and fix one by one. And with this edit snippet, we can go in here, and now we can edit the snippet. So we have the title, page separator, and site title. The slug is the URL, and the meta description. You definitely want to fill out the meta description because Google does take that into consideration. But the meta description is only related to like what people are searching for. So like you want to be careful to think about like what would people be typing in for essential items. And this is like how you kind of can figure out your meta description. So like, for example, I would just jump quickly and like in this guide, we cover the best, like let's take a look. Like we cover the best travel items of, and then you could add in like the current date. The best travel items of, you know, we'll say like the current date, and then it's like best unique travel accessories. We review a lot of unique and helpful unique travel accessories that are very helpful. That are very helpful and every traveler needs. They're very helpful and every traveler needs. You know, that it's an art. It takes a little bit of time, but that's kind of like how you want to approach that. Okay, so we're almost done with blog posts. Last thing over here is categories. So I went ahead and created a new category called travel tips. Now, with WordPress, the default installation, you're going to have a category called uncategorized. This is just a completely useless category. So you want to create a new category, and you only want to put your blog posts into one category at a time. You don't want blog posts in 2 or 3 categories. One category for one blog post. Now to add a new category, you just click on add new category, and here you go. You can just create a new category there. I recommend you sit down and think of like 3 to 7 categories max about what your website is about and what piece of content you're going to be publishing and how they can fit in. And make the categories keyword rich and broad and just related to your website. You know, you don't need to get cute and fancy. Don't get cute and fancy is my point. Like on categories or stuff I love or thoughts, or you know, like don't have categories like that. Like this is a travel website, so I should have like travel tips, travel gear. You know, maybe if I'm going to be traveling the world, I could have like Asia, and then have Europe, and then the Americas, and those could be individual categories or whatever. It really just depends on what you're doing. So anyways, now this is looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and click publish. Okay, and let's reload the site. So now that it's been published, so now we have the page title, we have breadcrumbs looking nice, we have our image right there. All right, and we have the categories. Now the next thing that we need to do is we need to delete that uncategorized category. So if we navigate over to categories in the sidebar here, now you're going to be like, hey, how come I can't delete uncategorized? I can delete travel tips, but I can't delete uncategorized. Well, the reason is because this uncategorized category is set as your primary category that all posts will be organized under by default. So we have to change that. So we're going to change it to like travel tips or something a little bit more related. So we just go to settings and we go to writing. Okay, so here is the default post category. It's set to uncategorized. We're going to change it to travel tips. We click on save changes and we're good to go. And next we can go to post and we go down to categories to go back to where we were. And now we can go ahead and delete this uncategorized category, which serves no purpose. So now we have one category, travel tips. Again, you're going to want to create more than one category. I suggest 2 or 3 categories, and that's basically it for this section. So we went through the process of like designing and creating blog posts, as well as like essential plugins to install to best optimize the images that we upload. And that's it for this section. In this next section of the tutorial, the area that we're going to be focused on is the menu bar up top right here. So currently this theme is using an expandable menu. I'm going to show you how to either make the decision between using it as expandable or creating a horizontal menu. Now, I prefer the expandable menu when someone's on their mobile device, but when someone's on their desktop, I don't know. I just think this kind of looks ugly. I don't really like the way it's laid out. It just doesn't look right to me. I would prefer a horizontal menu. I think that just looks better. Anyways, so to edit the menu is a very simple process. So you want to go back into your dashboard and you want to navigate to where it says appearance. And then we want to go down to menus. Okay, so now that we're in menu, we are on menu horizontal. So here is where you can select a menu to edit. So I have expandable menu and I have social links menu. I have 3 menus. Next, you have 2 tabs. You have manage locations, and here you can manage the location for each menu of where it will appear. So desktop horizontal, there's no menu. Desktop expanded, which is this. So currently I have it as expandable, which is a menu that's called expandable. So I want to turn this off. I don't want the expandable menu, and I'd rather have the horizontal menu. So I'll click this, and I'll click on menu horizontal, and we'll click on save changes. Okay, and now let's click this and let's reload the page. Okay, now we have a horizontal menu right there. All right, so just so you don't get confused, let's go to edit menus. And now here is where you can jump in and you can literally edit each menu and call it whatever you want. So here's the menu name. This is called expandable. If I didn't, I could call it ABC123 if I felt like it. You can give the menu name any name you want. Just create something logical. So I decided to just call it, expandable, because that makes sense. Like this menu is the expandable one. I also have desktop horizontal right here, so we can click on leave and go there. All right, so it's really up to you. So I'm going to go back to expandable. We'll click select, and I don't need this menu, so we'll just click on delete. Okay, we'll click on delete, and then menu horizontal desktop, and then this desktop horizontal, and I just want to call this menu. Keep it simple. Click on save. Okay, and now this menu is now called just menu, and that makes a lot more sense to me logically. Now let's go back to manage locations, and desktop horizontal menu is saved as menu. So I'll just remember just to click change. I'll just click save changes just to make sure. We'll go back to edit menu, and now I have something called sample page. So we reload the site, and there we go, sample page. Now obviously sample page doesn't mean anything. So what do you want in the menu? You gotta think about that. You want probably like about page, contact page, resources, maybe a link to the blog post if you're going to create a dedicated homepage, which we are going to do. Those are the type of things that you want to incorporate into the menu. You want to keep it as minimal as possible. So like if we just take like a look at like websitecreativepro.com, like for example, I have a link to the blog post page. I have links to tools, services, news, start here. And then like pages I would create in the future could be like something like courses, and then maybe a page for like an email opt-in form, things like that. So anyways, let's go back in here and let's delete this sample page. We don't need that, and we're going to click save menu. And now we don't have anything in the menu bar up top there. So let's go ahead and create an about page and a contact page. So to do that, we want to navigate to pages. And now we only have one page. We have something called a sample page. So we want to create some new pages. So for a sample page, you can go ahead and click trash because we don't really need that. Now we want to click on add new. And there we go. So now call your about page something like about this site, whatever. So my about page is right here, new here, question mark, new here, what's this all about? So you can call it something like that, like what is this all about, or create like give some like catchy title to like draw people in. Travel will change your life, or something like that, or whatever, or you could just call it about. Just think about like, what is your website about? The about page, again, is not about you. It's about the website, why the website exists, why you have any type of authority to write it. If you're creating some type of niche site where you're like an anonymous author, you still want to go ahead and create an about page, but just go about and say like, camerasite.com was founded in blah, 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 and provides the highest quality reviews, XYZ. Just come up with some 300-word paragraph. You can just keep it something short and sweet. So, anyways, it depends on the site, but you definitely want an about page. So I'll just call this about, and we'll click save draft. And don't forget, you have Yoast SEO over here where you can edit the meta description and the way the page title will look. Okay, so now we have my name / about. That looks good. All right, so next thing we want to do is we want to add a contact page. Okay, so now we have about. Oh, that's still in draft. Sorry. Let me click the publish button there and publish. Okay, great. And now let's go to add new. Okay, so now we have to add the contact page in. So we can say something like need to contact us, ? And then start writing here. And then for the contact page, you want to keep it short and sweet. Something like, hey, thanks for your interest in our website. You can contact us on Instagram or Facebook or use the form below. Like something like that. Thank you for your interest. Contact us. We can be reached via Facebook or the form below. You can just keep it as simple as that. And now I'm going to go ahead and click publish. All right, now next, make sure that to correct the URL. So right now it's domainname.com/need to contact us. No, that's a terrible URL structure. Let's delete that. Contact, and just call it contact page. And there we go. We'll click on update. And then make sure to write a meta description, okay? So for example, for the contact page, I maybe would consider getting rid of the site title. Doesn't need to be anything complicated. And there you go. So now we have a contact page, but I said we can be reached via Facebook or the form below. So now we need to install a form, which leads us to the next plugin that we're going to install. So that next plugin is Ninja Forms. So we're going to click add new, and we're going to type in Ninja Forms and search. Okay, Ninja Forms, the easy and powerful forms builder. Let's click install. Okay, so now it's installed, and all we have to do is click on activate. Okay, so now Ninja Forms is activated. So now we have a new option off in our sideboard called Ninja Forms. So we just click on that. And there we go. So now we have a default form. The short code is Ninja Forms. So we just highlight this form code, right click copy, and we jump into our contact page. Let me open up the contact page again. All right, need to contact us. Okay. And all we have to do is just copy and paste this short code in. Boom. Click on update. All right, let's take a look at the form. You need to contact us, contact me, and here we go. Now, if just in case you're wondering, like, where does the message go? The message goes to the email address that you set up with WordPress originally, which is why, again, I emphasize that you want to pick an email that you actually check and use. You don't want to use some throwaway email. So that's the email that's going to be used when people use this form. So, it looks really good. And with Ninja Forms, you have a bunch of different options. You can jump in here, and then we can start editing the form as we want. So, we can just change different things. Like we have email actions there. We have store submission, email confirmation. We have advanced. We have form fields that we can go through and edit as we want. So we have like label message. We can change that, or email. We can change email label there. And same with name. Submit. We can go in here, we can change it to something else like submit or send, whatever. And it's really that simple. And so there we go. So now we have a nice little contact form and we have an about page. And now the last thing that I want to do is to set up a blog post and a home page. So to do that, we need to go back into pages and we're going to click add new. Okay, so now I want to add a blog post page, and I also need a page that will be the home page. So this will make sense in just a bit. So let me just click on blog and I'll just publish this as blog. Okay, and I'll click on add new. And I'm going to call this front page. And I'll click on publish and publish. All right, so now what I need to do is I need to navigate over to settings and I need to go into reading. Okay, so now we have your homepage displays your latest post, which it absolutely does. So this is the latest blog post. So I want to change this. I want a dedicated homepage. So we'll click on static, and for homepage, you want to click on front page, and for post page, you want to click on the page that you created and called it blog. And now we'll click on save changes. Okay, so now we have a dedicated front page and we have a blog post page. So this is looking quite good. Okay, and let's back out of this. Okay, so next I want to go back to appearance and I want to go to menus. Now it's time to add all these pages that we just created into our menu. So we go to view all, and what I want to do is I want to add the blog post, about page, and contact us. Let's click add to menu. Let's click save. Okay, that's looking good. So let's just take a quick look at the menu. So a blog, about, need to contact us. Whoa, I don't want to say need to contact us. I just want to say contact or something simple. Like, how do you change that? Very easy. You can just click this little drop down and update this, and I would just call it contact. And I would just call it this. Now this just changes the title of it in the menu. It doesn't actually change the title of the page, so you don't need to worry about that. We'll click save. Okay, now we'll reload the page, and that is looking quite nice. So we have blog, about, contact. So if we click on the blog page, it takes us back to our blog post page, which is exactly where we want to be. Now pay attention to the page title. So it's just blog dash and then the site title. So let's go into edit page. Okay, so this is where Yoast SEO comes in really handy. So you're going to want to create something like a little bit more specific for the blog post page. So for example, this is a blog like the blog of, and then I'll just put in my name. You know, you want to give it like a specific page title, and then you want to give it some sort of description. And that's it. So you just want to pay attention to these little details. So we'll click on update. Okay, and now let's take a quick look. So now we have blog, and it's the blog of David, and here's our blog post, and then we have about page, which you can, on your own time, you can create your own about page. And then we also have a contact page with a nice form. Obviously I would go a little bit more detail with the contact us page, but this will get you going. You know, I would definitely say like, hey, thanks for your interest. If you keep your message short and sweet, 3 to 4 sentences, contact me on Instagram or Facebook, or use the form below, because I get messages all the time on Instagram and Facebook. So those are two excellent vehicles to open up for people to contact you. Okay, so now our site is starting to come together quite nicely. So we do have a very boring front page. So the next step is that we're going to now create a nice looking homepage. It's time to now design the homepage. So our homepage is looking like this, the front page with nothing on it. This really needs to be improved. So let's start taking care of that. So we need to install another plugin, and this time we're going to be using the Themify Builder. It's a free page building plugin. So let's just go to plugins. And so far we have a few plugins: Ninja Forms, Smush, Yoast. Let's install another one. So click on add new. And then you want to look for Themify Builder. And let's search for that. Okay, and Themify Builder is right here. So just click on install now. Okay, so once Themify is installed, simply click on activate. And now you have the Themify Builder activated. And you're going to notice that over here you have another Themify Builder option. Now, once we go back and edit the page, because this is set as our home page like we did previously, you'll notice that we now have this block thing right here. And what this is the Themify Builder that allows us to have a lot of like cool, fun elements that we can quickly and easily add. So first things first, front page. So we don't need to call this front page anymore. We can go give it a proper title. So maybe like travel made easy. Okay, we'll call it something like that. And so now let me just update the page and I'll just show you. So now I've updated my title. So now my page title is Travel Made Easy. That's H1 tag. So you want to pick something that's like keyword focused and that's related to your site. That's like perhaps broad. Like if this is a travel site, like I'm going after the word travel, helps brand the site as travel for search engines and for potential visitors. So you got to take that in consideration. It really depends on what your topic is about and what keywords and what phrase you should use. Don't go cute and clever. Go clear and specific with any type of site you create. Anyways, now let's flex and show the power of the Themify Builder. I really like it. So we're just going to click the green plus sign right there. And now you have a bunch of different modules that you can use to design your site, or you can just skip all this and go right to blocks. So I'm gonna personally install blocks and modules too. Again, like it's your site, so I know you're gonna just want to jump in and kind of play around with this, and you totally should play around with it, learn how it works. You don't need to copy me 100%. Just pick what you think is nice. So I'm gonna go for this full height hero banner. So we'll click on plus. Okay, so now it's added, and let me X out of this. Okay, now let me click on save, click on update, and let's reload the page. And okay, so that's looking great. So it says we are open, welcome to our shop now. All right, so first off, I want to change the image to me because it's my site and I want it to, it's like something related to me at least, not some random woman in a clothing store. And I want to change this text. We are open, welcome, what shop? What are we talking about? So very easy to do. So first off, to change the background image, you have to go to the purple square and you have to go to styling, okay? And then you want to go to background, and then this is where the image is at. So again, the image is not anywhere in any of these options. The way Themify works is that each of these blocks is controlled by this purple square right here. So this purple square box, this is what is controlling the image. So you gotta go here and then go to styling, and then row options, you go to styling, and then you go to background, okay? So Themify Builder is, it has a learning curve, okay? Has a ton of options. You have complete control of your site, but it is overwhelming for a new person. So anyways, we want an image, so we want to delete this image and we want our own image. So I'm just going to go ahead and select one of my own images. So I went ahead before and installed a few images just for this tutorial. So let me click on done, click on save, let me click on update, and let's take a quick look to see how this is looking. All right, so now at least I have my own image, and now you're wondering, well, why is this so dark? How do I make it bright and beautiful? Okay, so let's go back and go to styling, row overlays. Overlays are what make this kind of a shade darker. Overlays are really helpful because it helps text really pop and make it easy to read. But again, just gotta play around with it. So like if you want the text to be easy to read, well, this is a little bit too dark, so we don't need to be that dark. So maybe we can tone it down just a little bit. We don't want to maybe turn it all the way off, but maybe just a little bit like that. Okay, let me click on done, click on save, update, and let's reload it to see how it looks. And yeah, that's looking fantastic. That looks really nice. We have travel made easy. And now let's just adjust this text so it makes sense. So this is right here. We are open. So we want to go in here and click on styling and then the text. And then this is set as H1. No, this is our H1. So we don't want this to be H1. So at a minimum, we want to change this to at least like H2. And you don't want to say, we are open. This is a travel site, so I could just say welcome and keep it that. So keep welcome that, and so this will be welcome. My name is David. I'll change it to that, and then we'll go here and text, and my name is David, blue-eyed, left-handed traveler. Okay, so there we go. My name is David, blue-eyed, left-handed traveler. Done. Click on save, and let's reload that. And there we go. So now we have it as shop now. So we don't need to be linking to a big button that says shop now. So we could link to something else. So like we could say like explore the blog, visit. All right, we could. So this is a good spot to, like, if you have a course or an email opt-in form or somewhere to direct people, this is where you want to do it with a button. So you want people to click on a button, be on a page, and then have an offer to sign up for an email opt-in form or a course or resources or whatever. So like we don't have any of these pages. So the only page I can really link people to would be the blog. So I'll call it like visit the blog, and we'll back out of this and call it HTTP equals David and then /blog, and we'll click on done. We'll click on save, update, and we'll reload the page and see how this is looking. Okay, so now we have welcome. My name is David, blue-eyed, left-handed traveler. Visit the blog, and that's starting to look really, really nice. And so here we can change the button styling. So if we want shape, square, round. So if I want like a little bit more rounded, I can do that there. If I can go into styling right here, or we can go to like animation, entrance animation. I want it to bounce when people load the button. We could do that. So let me just update it, and let me reload the page. Okay, welcome, and then visit the blog, and see how I had a nice little bounce. Looking good so far. And now let's continue on. So now let's add another element. So we'll click the plus sign. I'll click that. And now we can go to another block, and I'll just add another block in that I think looks nice. And we can just go and just eyeball it and pick one that you like. Again, you don't have to use blocks, but I'm just using blocks because they're quick and easy and they look fantastic. Okay, so let me just delete this one actually. And there we go. And now we have another set of blocks underneath that. Update this, and let's reload this and see how this is looking. Okay, so this is looking great. So travel made easy, welcome. And then we have a bunch of different blocks down here. So here is like where you can link to all the pages in your menu, but in a more fun, beautiful, visual way. So look how quickly and easily this is coming together. This is why I really like the Themify Builder. It's just so simple and easy to get this done. So, okay, so now we have like, we can adjust these individually, and it's controlled by here. So, for example, if I want to change the text, I can go here, and so we have the text right here. So about, learn more, and let's back out of that. So we have the styling right there. Okay, so now for each one of these, if you're wondering like, well, how do I change the background image? So next you have to click on this styling for the black, for the orange one, and then background, and then there's the image. Okay, if that makes sense. So the way this is set up is that this is one block, and then this is a mini block within one bigger block. So the purple is one big block, and then each orange is a little mini block. So if you want to change the image for the block, you just click on the image and then click on styling. So for example, we have this woman again right here. So I'll go to this one, and I'll click this, and I'll click on styling, background. I'll click X, and then okay, let me make it me, and then insert file URL. Done. Save. Update. And then let's reload that. And there you go. Okay, so that's how you quickly and easily update that. And so you're like, okay, so here's purple. I don't like purple. Okay, well, you go to column overlay and then change it to whatever you want. It's the same process. So, maybe you want to change it to all the same color or whatever. So if I pick blue instead, and click done, click save, update. We'll take a quick look at see how that's looking. Okay. So that's looking a little bit better than it was before. All right, so let me just go back there. So column overlay. Okay, so the reason now it's black blue like that is because now I have to click here and I have to scroll it and make it a little bit more transparent like that. Okay, so that's how you fix that problem. And there we go. So let's reload it. Okay. And so, yeah, so there you go. So that's how you kind of, you gotta play with it. There's no other easy way. So you go to column overlay, click on this. This affects the transparency. So if I keep it like that, it's a little bit more transparent. And now we have the text and the buttons over it. So now we can just jump in and start editing as we want. So we can go to text, and here you go, click on text and just change it as you want. So this is H2. Not sure I would keep it as H2 because this is H1, this is H2. But it'd probably be a good idea to keep these things as either H2 or H3. But you then, whatever, it's up to you. Because H means like heading, so you don't want a bunch of like H2, H3 tags. You want it to be structured appropriately. So like H1 is the main tag. There should only be one H2, and H2 means like this is a subheading of H1. Anyways, that is it for this next little section right here. And so we can just, with the Themify Builder, we can just keep going. So we'll click this, click plus, and okay, so let me just delete that actually. I think I would rather, okay, actually no, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go to module, and I'll just type in like fancy heading, okay? And fancy heading is travel advice, tips and guides. Okay, we'll keep that. Now the HTML tag H1, no, keep it as H2 because we only want one page title. We want the page title to be the H1 tag. Okay, and then we click on done, we click on save, let's click on update, and let's reload the home page again to just take a quick look. Okay, so that looks really nice. So we have travel advice, tips, and guides. Now we should start adding a few like items to that. So what we could do here is we could click on plus, and if I want, like I could click on, we'll say 2 blocks there, just to see how this works. And then we can click on plus, and I want to, now you have a bunch of different options: videos, sliders, testimonials, text. So what I want to do is I want to install, I want to add an image. And so I'm going to pick this image right here, insert file URL. An image title would be travel tips, okay? And then you can link the image to what you want. So we can go to the blog, for example. I'll open this up, and I'll go to 7 essential travel items. I'll click this URL, take that, and let me navigate here, and essential travel items, and now it's linking to this. I want to open in the same window, and we'll click on done, we'll click on save, and then we'll do the same thing here. So I'll click on image again. I'll click on image, and I'll select this image and insert file URL. Okay. And hello Cambodia, we'll just call this. All right, so next let me go down here to the hello world blog post. I went ahead and added an image to it. So let me copy and paste that, and now let me add in the image link, and boom, there we go, done, save, update. Okay, and let's reload it. Okay, so now we have travel made easy. Welcome, my name is David. Then we can have a bunch of links to our most important blog posts. We have travel advice and tips and guides. And then here you can start adding in links to your best blog posts to drive traffic to your money pages, or the most important, most helpful guides on the site, so people really like find your website and then find it extremely helpful. And that is basically it for the homepage. Okay, so all we did was install the Themify builder, and then we just started playing around with the builder on the back end by adding blocks. The Themify builder does take a bit of time to learn how to use with modules, but it's a very, very simple process. Basically, everything's controlled by this plus sign button. Here you can change it to 1 square, 2, 3, 4, as you see fit for your design that you're creating. And then once you're here, then you just click on the box there, and then you can choose from any of the modules in here. And really, that's just play around with it. That's the best. My best advice, like, there's no tutorial. It's like you just gotta take time and learn how each one works to see how you like it. And just remember that each of these blocks is constantly controlled by like this individual square. It's controlled by the orange. So if you want to change the background or overlay, you can do that from there. And this whole box is controlled by the purple up top there. So you can click on styling, and then you have different like row options and full width and height. You have a lot of detail. I could easily create like a hour or 2 hour long tutorial just on how to use the Themify builder. But this should give you a quick idea on how to create a nice looking homepage quickly and easily, because the things that you really just want from the homepage would be maybe like a hero image like this, where you can direct people to a specific page, maybe an introduction like this to different pages on the site, then maybe just link to like important blog posts or pages so people find the homepage and then can get into more deeply into the site. So anyways, that is it for the homepage. Now let's quickly talk about logos for our website. So unfortunately, logos are just one of those things you're most likely going to have to buy. And to buy them, I highly suggest you check out Fiverr.com as a good place where you can get a really nice professional logo for $20, $30, $40 that will really suit your needs. Now, if you're dead set on creating your logo yourself, there are a couple of different ways to do it. So personally, I almost always go with text. I keep my logos very simple. I design in a simple, minimalistic way, like websitecreativepro.com. This is literally text. It's text, but it looks nice. The whole thing looks nice. It works. That's what you got to do too. So I just want to use like this logo as an example, like Embora Pets. Like this is something that you personally could design yourself. This isn't that complicated of a design. Now other designs for other websites are going to require like a professional design. So if I go to like Recording Now, for example, recordingnow.com, and we take a look at their logo right here, Recording Now, like that's a professional logo. Like you're gonna have to hire someone to make that for you. You're not capable of creating that yourself with free tools and like unless you're a graphic designer, you can't do that. Okay, so just suck it up, and if you really want a logo like that, you gotta pay for it. Otherwise, stick to text, because text, looks nice. I mean, I almost always use text. I don't rarely create some complicated logo, and if I do, I go to Fiverr and I just pay someone like $40 to do a good job and create a nice logo. Be willing to pay a little bit more. Don't be looking for people to pay $5, because you get what you pay for. Okay. So anyways, this is logomaker.com, maker with an R, not ER, just R. And so let's kind of try and copy this logo just for fun, just to show you how like Logo Maker works. So first we begin with text. And so with text, it's called Embora Pets. Okay, so we can type in something like Embora, okay? And then they have emborapets.com underneath. Okay, so then we have, let me just move this down. Okay, and there we go. So let me just Embora Pets pets.com. Okay, so there we go. So, okay, so it's in capital letters. So let me just quickly change that. So pets.com. Okay, and let me just make that a little bit bigger so I can see what I'm doing. Make that a little bit bigger so it's easier to read, and we'll keep that right there. All right, so now we can change and play with the colors over here, and let's pick something like kind of like a hot pink. Like, there we go. And pets looks like it's a dark purple. Okay, and we'll just pick like a dark purple there. Let me just move it down just a little bit. Okay, there we go. And now to change the font, you can go up to here. Here you kind of change the kind of style that you want. So like we have fancy, designer pick. So we'll go like fancy and cursive, and you know, we can just pick a fancy cursive script here, one that we maybe like would look nice. And there we go. It's literally the same. So they're using Pacifico. There we go. And then we have pets, and we go to, you know, change it to something like Archival Black. You know, that looks nice. We can make that smaller, or we could go for like maybe something that's a little bit thinner, like there we go, and keep that there, and voila. Okay, so now we kind of got a similar look. And next they have like you know, a graphic. So we go to dog, and okay, so maybe not dog, but okay, we could go to paw, P-A-W, and search for that. Okay, there we go. So we can just look for something related to that. So we'll just like pick a dog paw. So I'll pick that one, and there you go. And then it's like boom, put that at the top right there, and like kind of like there you go. So if you've been looking for like a way to create a logo, that's what you kind of can do with logomaker.com. Do I suggest using Logo Maker? I mean, it's up to you. Again, comes down to like what kind of logo you want to design. If you want a simple logo like this, you can do this yourself. If you want something a little bit more fancy, you got to pay, unless you're a graphic designer. So anyways, that is it for the section on the logo. So once you create a logo, you're like, okay, well, that's great. How do I upload it? So you want to click on customize, and then you want to go to site identity, and then you can select logo. And so for me personally, like, we can just use my own logo for my personal blog just for fun. And then we'll click on select, and we'll just take the whole thing. Again, see, this is like my logo I made for my personal blog. It's text, and then it's my head. So again, like, I always keep design simple as possible. Okay, and then so there we go, and there we go. We have a logo if we want. Now, if you're going to go with a logo, then absolutely, I would just delete this tagline because it doesn't look good, doesn't look right. And I would just keep the logo and then the menu over here. That's fine. So I'm going to just click on remove this because we don't need to have a logo for this design. I like the way this looks. Or maybe we can do something where I'll just capitalize my name. Maybe that would look better. Whatever, that looks fine to me personally. So anyways, no, the goal of this section was just to kind of educate you and inform you about how to go about creating logos and how to update the logo on the site, where you can get logos, which is Fiverr, and a quick way to design a logo as you see fit, for your own purposes. Now, another thing that I've noticed a lot of tutorials skip out on is creating a favicon. So a favicon is the little icon that appears up top there. So right now we have a globe. Globe is kind of like the generic default thing that you get when you don't have a favicon. So like Logo Maker's favicon is this and this, and so you want to create a favicon that's kind of related to your site. So you gotta just take. It's not that complicated, but like, you know, my name is David, and so my last name begins with the letter U, so maybe like DU, whatever. It's not that complicated, but you know, just create something. So I'll just go to text, and you know, I'll type in DU, and we'll change this to a fat font that looks a lot better. So let me just go to like designer picks, and let me just pick up Anton, and let me just pick a little different one that's a little bit heavy. I'm not liking that either. Let me keep going. Okay, so that looks all right, and we'll bold it. Okay, so let me change the color, and I'll make that black, Okay, and that is it. So now I want to download it and upload it to make it my favicon for my site. Okay, so to download it, we just click this, and then we can just ignore this and click on where it says no thanks, download low resolution file. Okay, and that's it. So our file is being downloaded right now. There it is. We'll leave it there. And let me just go and open this with Microsoft Office Picture Gallery, and let me edit, resize. All right, let me edit and crop. And now this works because you get low res logo. Well, that's fine because I don't want a high res logo. I literally just want this to be my favicon. There we go. Done. DU. We'll click on save. Now I'm going to go in and rename this. I'm going to actually call this favicon. There we go. And now it's time to upload that to our site. So we click on customize. And we go to site identity and we click on select site icon, and site icon is right here. Let's load that in. Okay, now let's click select, and that looks great. Crop image, great. And we'll click on publish. All right, good. Now we'll X out. And there we go. So we add a nice simple little favicon related to our site. Nothing complicated. Favicons are quite easy. You don't stress over this too much, but that's how you create a favicon, and you definitely should create a favicon for your website. So we covered the menu, we covered the logo, we covered the quick overview of how to design a homepage with a themify builder. Now let's talk about the footers. So if you haven't already noticed, I went ahead and already made some changes to the footer. Now where this is being edited is you go into your WordPress admin and you go to appearance and you go to widgets and you open up this widget. So you have widget number 1 and 2. So you have footer 1 and footer 2. And over here, you have a bunch of text widgets that you can continually add as you want. You have like comments, pages, navigation, gallery, custom HTML. You can add all of these. So to add a widget is very, very simple. So for example, say if I have the search bar here and I want to add the search bar, I can just drag it over, drop it in, and that's it. So now let's reload the page, and there should be a search bar underneath that. And there we go. So if you want to add like a search bar, there you go, to the bottom of the site, you can do something like that. Now, what should you put in the footer? I always recommend putting all the legalese stuff, the disclosures, that sort of thing. So for example, most people who start websites, they want to promote Amazon Associates. So like if you know that you're going to be doing that, I would definitely just put that disclosure right here, like right here, disclosure, we're a participant in Amazon services, blah, 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 blah. There you go. And then I would have over here more. This is where I would put in like privacy policy, terms of use, and disclaimer. So yeah, you have a website. You really have to consider creating these pages. Now, you don't have to rush out and create these pages right now. I mean, because you don't have any traffic, you have no visitors, you don't have a business, you're not making money. But like, when you get to the point where you're making like $1,000 a month from your website, you're getting a lot of traffic, then it's time to start thinking about like, all right, maybe sit down with someone and ask them like how to best craft these pages. So in order to do this, I would just quickly, and just to show you a quick look, like for example, Website Creator Pro, right under here, we have privacy, terms, and disclaimer. So I definitely recommend putting these at the bottom. Okay, so for the footer right here, the way this is working is just a text widget, and I just wrote privacy policy, I wrote terms of use, I wrote disclaimer, and that is it. And now I have a whole separate post on blog/legal pages on like a quick little overview, but basically a privacy policy. So the point of privacy policy is to tell your users what information is being gathered on your site. So for example, if you're going to be running ads, advertisers, sometimes they are able to collect information. Your website creates its own log of traffic, and you need to disclose that. If you have Google Analytics installed, you need to disclose that. If you're running an email list and people who sign up are giving you their email address, you need to state this. Like Google AdSense program requires you to say that you have your site uses the Google's Dart cookie. That sort of thing. So like privacy policy, the whole point, as I stated right here, is to just disclose to your users what information is being gathered. So if you're running ads and having an email list and your web host and has a web log, you just need to disclose that sort of thing. and I would just go about modeling my privacy policy after other websites and like in a related industry. And now we have the terms of use. So the point of a terms of use page is to describe to people what they are agreeing to abide to when they're visiting your site. And if they don't wish to abide, then tell them how to opt out, which usually is just them leaving the site. So, and that's it. And then your disclosure page. So the point of a disclosure page is to disclose certain interests that might not be obvious to otherwise that people wouldn't know. So that's like why you have to disclose that, like, oh, I'm linking to Amazon because, hey, I get paid by Amazon if you click the link and buy something. So that's the point of a disclosure. The point of disclosure is to disclose certain interests that are not otherwise obvious. So like if you do affiliate marketing and advertising and whatever, just disclosure just should talk about all of that information right there. So like you want to disclose how your website makes money, disclose conflicts of interest, disclose any forms of compensation. For example, like if you run a travel site and a company occasionally pays you to visit their hotel combination for a review, you need to disclose that. And you could just do that either like at the top of, first off, you need to put that in your disclosure page. Like, I am sometimes compensated by companies for blah, 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 blah. And then when you actually write the blog post, that's the review, but you've been compensated financially, then you need to say that, like, I was the disclosure, we were been compensated by blah, blah, blah to write this review. Something like that. Again, compensation and conflicts of interest that might not otherwise be obvious need to be disclosed. And that is really it. So let's back out of this. So again, if you want to just check it out here, it's websitecreatorpro.com/blog/legal pages. And now to actually create your pages is a simple process. We just go in here, click on add new, and then you can just go through the process of like creating like your privacy policy, terms of use. And I would just call it like, like this, like terms of use. Okay. Terms of use. And, and then I would publish it. Let me publish it like this. And let me edit the URL because I want it to just say terms, and we'll keep it saved, update it. And then let me hyperlink this. All right. So let me take that. So you're going to have to like write the terms of use, and you're going to have to just create all these pages. So to keep this tutorial moving along, I'm not going to sit and actually like create each of these pages, but then you just want to highlight this when you're ready, and then, hyperlink it and then put it in, and there you go. And then you want to do this for all of your pages. And so, my privacy policy will be privacy. Okay. And then boom. And then we have disclaimer right there. And we're just going to put that in, and we're just have to put disclaimer, and then disclaimer. Sorry guys, I really can't spell. And click save. All right, so now let's check it out, see how this is looking. Okay, so we have a nice little site. At the bottom here, we have disclosure. We have nice links to privacy, terms of use, disclaimer. We have a search box. The footer is really all set. And now you're like wondering, well, what is this right here? This is the social menu of the site. And so that is controlled under your menus. So you want to navigate to menu. Okay, so like once you're back at menu, you just want to click here and you want to click on the social links menu and then click select. All right, and now here is where you can just quickly, and so we have it selected as social menu here. And here is where you can just easily add or delete items as you want. So personally, I'm not big on linking to social media on all my sites, but if you really want to, you can just link to, like we have this as Instagram. Like I would link to, say, Instagram, and Facebook. Like Yelp, who uses Yelp? And email, for example, email. Maybe I wouldn't have it as mail to WordPress, but I could change this to, I would change it to HTTP equals davidyuki.com/contact if I want to do that. But again, I'd probably just remove it, email. I would just really keep it like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll click save, and let's reload it. And there we go. So we'll keep the essential items that we use. Or you could just go ahead and just delete this altogether if you don't even want to have social media links on your site at the footer right here. this is not something that you want to do. Or for example, if you would rather have the social media links underneath here, you could do that. But again, the theme is designed to have the social media links right here, so it integrates well, it looks nice. So again, it's just your decision whether or not you want to go ahead and add that. But anyways, I would just keep it like this, and and just update the URL structure as you want, and that's it. And now you don't necessarily have to delete the menu, but you can go into like manage locations and then social menu. If you want to get rid of it, instead of the social menu, you could just click on select menu and click save changes, and then you can reload. And so now the menu is gone, right? And it's like, whoa, I want the menu back. Okay, well, you didn't, instead of like deleting it, now if you change your mind later, you can just go back into manage locations, go to social menu, click on the social links, click save change, and then you get your social media links back quickly and easily. So you can really make that decision on your own as you're designing your site. But anyways, this is kind of like how I would approach the footer here. I would just have disclosure. I would keep these legal pages, privacy terms, disclaimer, because and I would just, that's how I would set it up. I would keep it very, very simple. Okay, so now we're going to create a way to start collecting emails for our website. So I recommend you either sign up with an email list provider like ConvertKit, MailerLite, or Mailchimp, and then you can start collecting emails. Or I suggest installing a plugin like Jetpack. So I went ahead and actually installed Jetpack. This is Jetpack. It's actually just a plugin. So we'll just view plugins, and Jetpack is right there. So you can just go to add new, and then all you have to do is type in Jetpack and search for it. And now I really like Jetpack for two main reasons. Jetpack allows you to have related posts at the bottom of all your blog posts, and it uses Jetpack servers, not yours, so it saves you on your hosting bill. But also Jetpack comes with a opt-in form for people to subscribe to your site, so when you publish new blog posts, it automatically gets sent to them. Now it's not an email list alternative, like you can't email your list. They only get updates when you publish a new piece of content. But if you're looking for something like, look, I just want to publish blog posts and have it go automatically to my audience, I recommend Jetpack. So we're going to cover both ways. So let's talk about Mailchimp at first. So this is Mailchimp.com, and I'm not going to, this is not a Mailchimp tutorial. So, you can go ahead and sign up, and you get a free account when you sign up, and you're able to have 2,000 contacts, and you're able to send emails on a weekly basis to your list. And you're able to just get started and get going for free with Mailchimp. Now, I definitely recommend a plugin called WC4WP. I'll show you. Let me just open up plugins again. Sorry. So plugins right there is right here. So this is Mailchimp for WordPress. So if we go to add new, and we'll just say Mailchimp. Okay, we'll just type in Mailchimp, no space. Okay, so Mailchimp, no space, and it's MC4WP, Mailchimp for WordPress. It has 1 million plus activations. Now you have to type it in as Mailchimp as one word. You can't type, if you type it in as like Mailchimp, you're going to be confused because like what, where, what? The reason is you're seeing this is because it's Mailchimp as one word, not two words. Anyways, so once you go through the process of Mailchimp, you have to create a list. Once you create a list in your Mailchimp account, which is very easy to do. If you need a tutorial, there's other tutorial videos on that on YouTube. It's not complicated. Just create an email list, get set up. Then you're going to need to create an API key. So this is my API key right here. It's blocked out obviously, but you need to create an API key so you can link the plugin to your Mailchimp account. The advantage of doing that is because then you get access to forms, and you can easily create quick, easy embed forms for your website without having to be a fancy designer. And these forms look nice, and they're easy to get going, and you can also just you get shortcodes, so it makes it super duper easy to put shortcode back into your website as you want. So anyways, let's take a look. So we're gonna put an email opt-in form right here, and we're gonna just click on edit page. Okay, so now we're in the Themify builder again. So we're gonna just scroll down here, and we're gonna click the plus sign. Okay, and let's add in this square and, oh, sorry. Let me just back out of that. I don't want to do that actually. All right, so we're going to click that square, click the plus sign. There we go. All right, now blocks. Now we're on blocks. I'm going to click on all. And what I want to do is I want to find something that says like newsletter. There we go. It says newsletter right there. All right, this looks nice. And we'll click the plus sign. And okay, so now we have this empty space there. So we can go ahead and delete this box right there. Okay, now let's click on save and let's click update. All right, now let's take a quick look at our site to see how it is looking. Okay, so we have the call to action there. We have links to pages that you can customize. I recommend building this section out. What I would do, again, guys, for this part right here, I would just continue building this out. Like I would do something like what I've done on like Website Creative Pro. Like I would just build out little blocks, like maybe 6 or 8, and of the best piece of content on your site. But here is the email opt-in form, and so it's saying Mailchimp API key is missing, and then it comes with these weird social media, Google Plus, like who you like. This is some of this is silly. I don't know why they have this built in, but it's quick and easy to get rid of. So first off, we're going to delete the opt-in form. We don't want it because it's not working. I don't understand why it's not working. The API key is absolutely working because we were able to. I'm able to link it in this. So we're going to just delete that. And icons, we don't want our social media icons to be linked. Instead, we want to click on plus, and then you want to click on modules, and then you want to search for something called text, like plain text. There we go. Click on plain text, and then all you have to do is copy and paste in your Mailchimp form ID. There we go. Click on done, click save, click update, and let's take a quick look. And that looks fantastic. That looks great. So now we have a really nice professional email form at the bottom of the footer right here. I personally like this weird square design. It really just jumps out. Now, obviously, you can go ahead and like customize the text a little bit better. You know, something like not just subscribe now, but like travel tips, exclusive travel tips. This is the sort of thing where now you have to create some sort of call to action, some sort of free giveaway, you know, like maybe a course, an ebook, just give someone a reason to subscribe. So, you know, I wouldn't say like exclusive travel tips, like free course on how to teach, free course on how to teach English abroad, you know, something like that. Sign up to get your free, to get started. Sign up to get started. Something like that. Okay, we'll click on done. We'll click save, update, and let's reload it. All right, so that looks nice. Free course on how to teach English abroad. Sign up to get started. Email address, boom. And for this image in the background, again, you can just click this. And let me just see. It's either this. Let me click that one. Nope. Okay, so it's being controlled by the purple, so we'll just click on styling, background, and there's the image. So if you want to change the image, again, you can. So just click on that and then select an image that you want to update it with. So, you know, so we could just change it to anything we want. We want that one. Okay, click on done, click on save, and then we can reload it. And then there we go. We have our image in the background. You're like, whoa, David, that's really dark. I can't see that. It's fine. You can go to row overlay, and we can turn the row overlay off completely if we want. Click save, update, and then reload it. And you know, okay, there we go. So that is starting to look a lot better, and it like kind of floats in the background. So, you know, and now you may be seeing, oh, it's kind of pixelated. Well, it's pixelated because the image is kind of small. So probably want to like pick an image that's a little bit bigger, and so it's a little bit more crispy. So let me change the image. So background here, X out of that, and I'll select this one again. Okay, and then click save, done, update, boom. And let's reload it. Yeah, see how crispy and that is. So you gotta pick an image that's kind of big. So if you're gonna upload an image for the background of this, you want something that's really sharp, and that looks fantastic. Okay, so Now we have this welcome message. We have blog post pages. We have pages that we can link to there, like, you know, your courses and resources, ebook, and then you can link to your best blog posts here and just create custom images for your best blog post. And then you have this email opt-in form, and then boom, the disclosures and all that legalese stuff at the bottom. So this is coming together quite nicely. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up Jetpack. Now it's time to set up Jetpack quickly. So Jetpack has two advantages. It creates a subscription form so people can subscribe to the site, and when you publish new blog posts, they get emailed those blog posts automatically. Again, it's not a great alternative to an email list, because your email list you can email whenever you want. You want to email them updates of blog posts or just your new YouTube video or affiliate promotions, whatever you can. Jetpack is just something that you can just send emails, and it does it automatically. And also another helpful thing of Jetpack is that it adds related blog posts to your site. So right down here, this is actually powered by Jetpack. That's on Website Creative Pro. And you're like, well, how do I get these little boxes to appear at the bottom of my blog post so, you know, people can click and dive more deeply into other pieces of content? This is how it's done. It's done with Jetpack, and I really like Jetpack. So anyways, you just want to go to plugins, go to add new, and then you just want to type in something literally called Jetpack, and then it'll come up as Jetpack for WordPress. And then go ahead and install and activate it. Once you do that, you're going to be presented with this screen where you have to set up Jetpack. So to set up Jetpack means you have to create a WordPress account, so it's not a big deal. So we'll just click on Set Up Jetpack. Okay, so now Jetpack is loading, and now we have Connect, and this is my WordPress account. So if you don't have a WordPress account, you may have to create one. So just go ahead and create one, and then click on Approve. And now it's connecting, and it's authorizing your connection. Okay, so now you're like, oh, personal, premium, professional, this costs money. No, you can just click right here. You know, they did a good job kind of not hiding it, but, you know, it says start with free. So just click on that. There you go. You're done. That's it. That's all you have to do. So now we have Jetpack installed and ready to go. So Jetpack, you'll find it off in the menu bar in your admin. So then you want to click on settings, and now we want to click on traffic. Okay, in traffic we want to come here where it says related posts, and we want to show related post after show related content after posts. Yes. Highlight content with a content heading. Yes. And show a thumbnail. Yes, thumbnails absolutely make a difference with getting people to click. And there you go. That's pretty much it. And now if you want to change like the text instead of related, you can go into settings, and I believe it's under reading now. Yes, right here. And we can highlight content with a heading right there, and we'll just keep it like that. And then click on Save Changes, and we're good to go. That's it. That's all you have to do. And now you have that set up. And once you have content, it'll start to populate the bottom of each blog post. So we only have 2 blog posts. You know, if you go now, we just don't have, like, I'll show you right now. If you go check out the site now, we'll go to a blog post there. We'll go to click on this blog post. You know, it's not going to show anything because there's nothing at the bottom there. So anyways, let's get back into the post. So it's not going to show anything at the bottom of the post because there's just not enough content on the site, if that makes sense. Anyways, so let's go to edit post. All right, so now we have a few different options there. Okay, so let's navigate to the bottom there, and let me just remove these 2 blocks. Playing around with this before I started recording. Okay, so now you have the option to click here, and we can type in Jetpack, and then Jetpack will come up, and now we have a couple different options for related posts, contact info. So if like we click related posts, it's going to come up in preview unavailable. You haven't published enough posts with similar content, so that's why it's not going to show. Now you don't have to click this and add it. It's going to be added automatically to your blog post. You don't have to do that. But say if I wanted to add that subscription form, then I can just do that. So I can go Jetpack, and then I can find where it says the you know, where is it? Jetpack, Let me see. Ah, okay. So see, that's the thing. I forgot. You have to activate it. So we have to go to discussion and let visitors subscribe to new posts and comments via email. So we have to click that. There we go. So now we can have subscriptions on our site. So let me just back out of this and back out of this. Okay, so let me just go ahead and reload the page. And yeah, I'll reload that. All right, there we go. And here we go. So this is Jetpack, and so let me just remove this. So the thing that I was missing is I didn't activate it in the settings, so make sure to do that. So just go here and you can go to Jetpack, and Jetpack comes up as the subscription box right there. So Jetpack, and we have subscription form right there. And you can show a total number of subscribers, one or not, whatever. So if we click on update, and we'll be back here. Let's just check it out. Okay, so now we have this email opt-in box there, and this is just for Jetpack to subscribe. Now, if you want people to sign up for your MailChimp, what I recommend doing is get rid of this, because you have to do this for every single blog post, right? That's the only way to add that box. That's why I had you guys install the other plugin, because it's way easier. So let's just go to settings, and we go back to PRYC. Let's open that up. And next we want to go to content bottom, and then we want to copy and paste in our MailChimp form shortcode right there. And we click on save changes. And now we should have a email opt-in form for MailChimp at the bottom of the blog post. Yep, there it is right there. And now we can, like, you can create custom content for this too. Like you can go, you can make, like, thanks for watching. Thank you for reading. Thank you for reading. If you enjoyed the content, subscribe below to get your free course, something like that. And we'll click on we'll just click on save changes. All right, so let's reload it and take a look. And now we have like a nice little call to action and an email opt-in form at the bottom. So you can go that route. And one other last way is to, of course, use the Themify builder. So if you want to create a custom email opt-in form at the bottom of every page, you can do that. So you're going to have to then get rid of that and then click save changes. And you're going to have to do this individually per blog post. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to just mass produce it across all sites. But when you have traffic, you're going to have some pages of content that are going to get more traffic than others. Anyways, we just go through the same process where we click the plus sign, and then we can go to blocks, and then we could even just go back and go to that newsletter again, this, and then boom, and we can add this newsletter there. And so again, we want to delete that, and we want to delete that, and we want to have boom, module, text, plain text, copy and paste MailChimp in there, done, click save, update. And let's take a look at it. Okay, and we have a nice little email opt-in form right at the bottom of blog post. Now you got to do this per blog post, but again, like some blog posts are going to get more traffic than others. I can just tell you right now from like my own blog, Edge of David, like I have like 8 posts that bring in 80% of the traffic. So it's like those 8 posts I should really optimize as much as possible. So that's kind of like how you want to approach it. So we already covered how to like customize and edit this. So I don't need to go through that again. But if you want to just add a really nice looking email opt-in form, this looks fantastic. So it's like we have a nice little blog post, and then boom, right at the bottom there, attention grabbing email opt-in form. Or if you want, you can install Jetpack. It's really up to you. So I'll let you make a decision which one you want best, or it may be nothing at all if you just want to focus on publishing content. We're going to now install social share plugins. We're going to install Google Analytics, and we're going to verify our website with Google Search Engine Console. So let's get started. So the plugin, or not the plugin, but the service I recommend for social share buttons is called Add This. So you just want to go to addthis.com. It looks like this. You're going to have to sign up and create an account. But once you go through the process of creating an account, you're going to be presented with this page right here. And so the first thing we want to do is we want to go to add new tool. Okay. So you want to make sure you click on tools and then go to add new tools. And now here you can create different things for your site: share buttons, follow buttons, list building, website tip jar. And you already know how to add all of these to your website, so you can play around with this. You can just go into PRYC and add in the short code and add it and see how it looks and see if you like it, whatever. For this, we're going to be using the share buttons, which is their most useful feature. Okay, so here are their share buttons. So you have floating and inline. I recommend inline if you have a website that you're running advertisements on, because you've seen it before. You visit a website on your mobile device, and then the ads appear at the bottom there. If you have the share buttons and then ads, it just doesn't look right. So, so personally, a brand new site, I would stick to floating. So to customize this, we just click on continue, and we're going to go selected by you. Now here you have the opportunity to select what media you want to promote. From my experience, Facebook and Pinterest are Facebook's number 1, Pinterest is number 2. Twitter is popular in the United States, but elsewhere in the world, not that popular. Email, absolutely. I find email almost as good, if not better, than Twitter. People absolutely email blog posts and content to each other. I personally would just get rid of email and Twitter, because people can use add this button right there if they want to print, email, that sort of thing. So I would just keep it as Facebook and Pinterest. But again, depends on your website, depends on your niche, depends on your audience, depends on where your audience hangs out and what they use. So just make this decision on your own. Anyways, we're going to click on activate tool. All right, now we click on this design, and I want to keep it small. Keep social share button small when someone's on their mobile device. That looks good. And individual counter, sure, but I want it to be at 50. So when people share on 50 times on Facebook, then it'll show 50 times, if that makes any sense. Anyways, let's click activate tool. And there you go. Okay, so now you're like, well, what do I do now? Click on get code right there. Okay, so now you have this, and you just highlight this little script and take that. Okay, so now we go back and we want to go into WordPress, and now we need a new plugin called Insert Headers and Footers. So we want to go to plugins, you want to go to add new, and you want to search for something that is called headers and footers. Right, headers and footers, this one right here by WP Beginner. Install and activate it, and you should be good to go. Now, once you have the code right here, you want to just take this script and you want to paste it in the header right there, and you want to click on save. Okay, now when we reload the site, we'll just reload the site. And now we have nice social share buttons off to the right. So if someone clicks like this, now they can share on Facebook and email and all these other options, or they can share it quickly and easily to Facebook and Pinterest. And it's on every page. So, it's good to go. So if someone wants to share this blog, or they want to share 7 essential items, now they can just quickly navigate here and click this and share it on Facebook. And I'm telling you, people absolutely do it. And fun thing about add this is that it does give you analytics. So, as your site grows, you'll be able to see hey, people are sharing on Facebook and Twitter, and these are the pieces of content people really like and share a lot. You'll be able to figure that kind of information out. So that's why I really like add this, because it's just very usable. So next, we're going to install Google Analytics. Last, we're going to set up Google Analytics and Google Search Console. So let's take just a quick look. So this is Google Analytics, and Google Analytics is a backend software that will tell you how your website is performing, how much traffic you're getting, page views, time on site, that sort of information. It's very helpful to kind of figure out how your website's performing, maybe things that you need to change, what pages are getting the most traffic that you should pay attention to a little bit more and optimize. And it's also helpful for other companies as your website grows and they want to work with you. They want to understand how much traffic you have. For example, like AdThrive, for example, you need to prove that you have 100,000 page views, and you can prove that by showing Google Analytics. And other affiliate programs are like that too, where you have to demonstrate that your website actually has traffic, whatever. You do that with Google Analytics. So anyways, this is Google Analytics. So just create an account. So I'm just going to call this test account, and we're just going to leave all these checked. Click on next. Web, measure your website. Yep, that sounds great. And then website name, and I'll just put in David and then the URL of the website, and there you go. Then click on create, and we accept. Okay, fantastic. Now we just take this code and we go back to our headers and footers, and the code goes in the header. It does not go in the footer. Do not put analytical code in the footer. For it to work correctly and give you an accurate readout of your site's performance, you want to put it in the header. You're going to have issues if you put it in the footer. It's not going to work correctly. Now we have this other script there from add this. If you don't like this being there and you'd rather move it to the footer, you can do that. That's fine too. And there we go. So now we have our Google Analytics there, and we have our add this script there. We click on save. And that's it. So now we have Google Analytics installed. That's really it. And I would just check back in a month to log into your analytical account. You'll start having data within like a month's time as you're publishing content. Now the next critical thing to do is you want to go to something called the Google Search Console. And so this is Google Search Console. What it does is it gives you specific information on your website, custom information for your website and how your website is performing in the search engines. Basically like keywords and phrases that people are using to find your site, things that people are typing in, how they're finding what piece of content, and how your rankings, like like if you're trying to rank for a specific phrase, you can check that. It's really helpful, but it takes time to collect that data. It's not overnight. So that's why you want to do this now, because when you check back in 3 months or 5 months, you're going to have actionable data. Whereas if you just do this 6 months in the future, you're not going to have any data. It's going to be an empty account. So that what I mean is like it occurs over time, the account data. So the sooner you install it and get started, the better. Now to get started, it's so easy. So now you just click on this blue button that says start now, and here we are. You have domain and URL prefix. Don't pick this one. You can't verify with this because we have a website. So we want to go URL prefix. So we want to go HTTP, and we just want to type in our URL. Okay, and then click on continue and checking verification. Okay, so analytic verification method is auto ownership auto verified. Now, this is why it's so easy, because this is why you want to install Google Analytics first. When you install Google Analytics first and then you go to Search Console, it automatically verifies it, and that's it. You're good to go. Now, I can tell you that if you have the script in your footer, it will not auto verify. It'll say like, oh, it's malformed. It'll literally say it's malformed, and you're going to be confused as to like, hey, how come I can't sign up? Because you put it in the wrong spot. Analytical code goes in the header. And so you'll be set up with Google Analytics now, and now you're set up with Google Search Console. Now there's nothing for you to do beyond this point. Now you can check back in on both of these in a month or whatever, after you've published like 10, 15 blog posts. Then I would consider coming back in here and seeing the performance, but that's it, guys. That's it. That's basically how you install Google Analytics and get set up with Google Search Console. All right, so let's just recap what we've done. I'm going to give you a couple little bits of advice. So we created a lovely looking homepage quickly and easily with the Themify builder. And next, let's navigate over to our blog post page. So here I have my blog post set as a summary. Yours is probably set as full text. Now, in order to change that, you want to click on Customize. And under Customize, you want to go to Theme Options and make sure it's not selected as full text. You want to change this to Summary. Now, why is this important? Because this is showing the entire blog post, and that's not good, because then you're going to end up having the blog and the post showing the same exact content, and that's really bad for SEO purposes. So just keep it as a summary, and then just click on Publish, click the X, and you're good to go. Now, by default, WordPress is going to show 10 blog posts on your blog post page. If you don't want to show 10, that's fine. You can go here, Settings, Reading, Blog Pages, show at most 5 posts. That's what I would just keep it as. And then it's going to show 5 posts. So it's number 1, number 2, and then as I add more posts, it'll be 3, 4, and 5. And then we have the About page here, and you can get a little bit creative with the About page using the Gutenberg editor. So we could just go to like Edit Page, and once we're on the About page here, we can go here and we can click on the plus sign, and under here, Gutenberg comes with a lot of blocks. Now this is just a default WordPress feature. So we have paragraph, short code, heading, submission form, related post, latest post, that sort of thing. Layout elements here, columns, button, themify builder, groups, media text, more, page break. It's really, really helpful. Formatting, table, classic editor, all this good stuff. So here we can go here and we can find something where it says, where is it? So blog post, so cover, there we go. So we can add a cover. I'll click on like media library. I'll select the picture of myself, select, and then here, now it creates a cover image and it's like, hi, my name is David. And then we can have this block and we can go over here to change the color settings to, if we want to change the color to something else, or if we want to create a custom color, say if I want like a nice blue instead of red, we can tone it down a bit if we want, or keep it up a little bit. Take this and we can bold it. If you want to create it, turn it into a heading, you can do that, make it like an H2 tag, and we can center the tag, and then you can write your blog post. And then if we click on update, let's take a look and see how that's looking. And there we go. So it's like, hi, my name is David. And then we can write your blog post there, and you can get creative with the Themify builder, and you can add in additional blocks as you want. And now two main questions I know that almost everybody has is they're going to ask, how do I change this font to a different font? The answer is you can't. Fonts are built into the theme the way they are. You either like it or you don't. I think it looks quite nice. But again, this is a free theme. Free themes, you typically can't change the font with easy. And fonts are a really complicated thing to design into a site. So it's not something you can quickly and easily change. And last, the color too. You're kind of stuck with this shade of red, so either you like it or you don't. Personally, I find that red is really high converting in terms of clicks, so I'm quite happy that this is red instead of being another weird color. Like the 2017 theme, all hyperlinks and links were black, which is terrible because you want your links to at least be a color, and this is a nice red color anyway, so this is really clickable and stands out when you're reading the piece of content. So personally, for a free theme, quite happy with it. So anyways, guys, that is it for this tutorial. Okay, that is it for this tutorial video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button and check the links in the description for any of the services mentioned. My name is David, websitecreativepro.com. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.